set a super time machine, as well as a crate of supplies. Here's how to launch. Find the power keys, then place them in the right spots.
Someone help me! Thanks.
Flying Nimbus! Stay calm. Stay calm. Stay calm. Thanks.
I'm so scared!
I owe you one. Stay calm. Stay calm.
Bro, why is this guy fucking stream sniping me?
You have my thanks. Oh, man. Flying Nimbus! That's a new power key. Place it now. Hey, great! You found another power key. Use it quick. This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them.
Save me!
That's a new power key. Place it now. Ally down! If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies.
You're my savior. Flying Nimbus!
Where is everyone? You really want to save me?
The startup system for the super time machine
Flying
is ready.
Nimbus!
Head there now.
Alright, bro. I hope you're happy. This guy really chased me the whole game, going out of his way to kill me.
Come on!
I'll send some supplies now. Make use of them.
I'm so scared.
Ah!
This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them.
You serious?
I need your help. We don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in.
Someone save me!
Flying Nimbus!
The startup system is under attack. Stop it if you can, but retreat if you need to. Got it?
Close.
Ally down! You intend to rescue them. Watch out for enemies. Got all 7 Dragon Balls. Summon Shinron at the altar.
Close.
Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them.
Here it goes!
You're no match.
Counterpart, handling Brawl himself, as he knows her fighting style better.
You're hesitating, brothers! You better go all out or else. You're going to die even faster! Was that supposed to hurt? Seriously? You're too weak. Huh? Cell, you finally show your true colors! This is perfect! I'd have been disappointed if I didn't get the chance to fight you. Regenerate this! Gohan isn't trying to fight. He reduced his energy to find Babidi. No!
And with that blast, not only is a large amount of the arena destroyed, but all the spectators are now dead. When Super Buu feels this is the perfect chance to taunt the Grand Supreme Kaioshin, mocking, isn't he the ultimate leader of the universe? Quipping, he's curious to see how he's going to save everyone now. 16's Gohan takes a lot of damage from the attack, and the Piccolos know it's actually both Gohans who are at the end of their rope, conspiring to regroup to get the both of them a Senzu Bean. In a bit of good news, Brawl herself has accidentally destroyed hers in her attempt to block Gohan.
Damn! No more backup! You don't want to fight! Neither do I!
Oh no! This is exactly what she did to that Ultra guy!
Lie. Obey me! Obey me! I can't leave you for a second!
As savvy as anyone, Brawl's aware only Cell and the two Gohans have the power to break through her master's protection. Scowling, she'll be watching him. Meanwhile, our Gohan tries to come up with a plan to get back to the arena, as it won't be long before he dies, not being able to breathe.
Don't worry.
Huh? When he hears a tiny voice coming from his hair. Cell, proving to grow more tactful by the day, got the idea after seeing Buu do something similar, deciding to create a few mini Cell Juniors. And lucky for them, he too can use instant transmission like his father, instructing Gohan to prepare his most powerful punch, and he'll put them in the perfect position. Our Piccolo notices his universe's Gohan has vanished, so the other resolves to go after his own. When he appears right in front of him, another Cell Jr., of course. But ever powerful, Brawl realizes what they're doing, even spotting their miniature helper. Chuckling, how cute, a support Cell Jr., as if that's going to change anything. While the surprise attack lands clean, Gohan shouts his support should have targeted Babidi instead, who admits that would have been quite clever. As another makes his way to the unconscious Fat Buu, screaming in his ear to wake up, and pleading he assist in taking down some Brawl. But the Majin is confused, believing to be on the same side as her. But the easily influenced creature is swayed immediately, as the Cell Jr. assures that's not the case at all, and for him to help quickly. Jumping up, he bellows, "All right," joining the action. Getting back to her feet, she growls her other brother is beginning to get on her nerves. The Hellites appear, who slowly chip away at Babidi's shield. Wondering how they're still alive, believing Cell killed him, the Biodroid grows a sinister grin. A few minutes ago, upon going to absorb Fipsel, it was actually just a ploy to speak with her without Babidi hearing, commanding she respond with only her thoughts. Knowing she has nanobots healing her, and no serious wounds, he questions if she will be able to re-enter the battle anytime soon. She beckons why. Their energy packs are empty either way. Cell asks if they can recharge them then, but unfortunately no. But they could take the packs from the defeated Ultras. He directs her to do so discreetly. Again wanting to know why, he explains that he's escaped Babidi's mental control, but for now, he's going to have to play his game. stating he's actually on their side.
What's up, Terrence? Just waiting for the
Quipping
next
he
match.
could have played
What's up with you?
less hard. She likes the plan, requesting he get them near her universe's area. And with that, he was one step closer to his revenge. Stepping in front of her master, Brawl now realizes, since the very beginning, Cell has been creating allies to retaliate against herself and Babidi, as the Piccolos, Gohans, Boo, Cell, and the Hellites, not to mention the Cell Juniors, join forces in order to put an end to the chaos. As our group of heroes stares down the villain, they vanish, Nedwook exclaiming they ran off. But Piccolo believes Brawl merely knew she couldn't continue to protect Babidi against all of them, confident she'll be back soon. Fipsel wanting to quickly come up with a plan of action, questioning what group strategies everyone has. But the awkward silence speaks for itself. Aside from multiform training and knowing how the other thinks, Gohan coyly admits they kind of just fight one-on-one. Piccolo adding others usually watch or wait their turn, causing the Hellites' faces to drop, fairly questioning how in the world have they managed to survive this long. Cell quipping, in their defense, usually only one of them at a time is relevant, or becomes relevant at the last minute. Still somehow swayed to their side, Boo questions his little manipulator who he's supposed to fight, explaining it's that mean girl, Brawl, who captured his master. She's the one he must battle. Taking said master to space. Out here, only Brawl knows where he is, nonchalantly urging he give her a few seconds to smash him, and she'll be back for him. Oh, and breathing won't be a problem. He should have at least 10 minutes of oxygen inside this shield, begging her not to leave. She makes her way back to the others. Not a second time! Watching Cell, one of the Gohans notices he needs to attack almost as soon as Brawl disappears. If he finds her energy fast enough, she doesn't even get a chance. But, counter to this, the villain notices they're adapting too quickly. Rushing to the downed Gohan, Piccolo realizes his spine has been broken, noting aloud, Brawl is aiming to kill. But able to eat the Senzu, there may be hope for our heroes after all.
I know you want to teleport, but you know, I'll predict where you teleport to.
Good riddance.
I couldn't agree more!
As I thought! That laser drains all your power! Your armor doesn't protect you anymore!
Screaming in horror for her fallen comrade, Piccolo states he was still holding out hope she was only acting. But now
I'm not
there's
there
no
yet.
more doubt. She has truly turned. You've done enough!
Not daring getting close, are we? Idiot! Hey! That doesn't change anything!
The smoke clearing. There's a pause in the action. Fipsel spouting.
check right now.
She must have disappeared again. But Gohan knows she was definitely hit. She teleported after the fact. Finding her energy, she's taken down one of the Piccolos, stealing his Senzu beans. Missing their opportunity, Gohan knows he can no longer keep up. He's drained the entirety of his power. If she's going to be back to full strength,
Oh, why so sad, big brother? You shouldn't let your guard down!
Gohan!
as he fades away, the defeated Gohan grunts. He thought she would hesitate a little more. Sun Brawl staring back into him with no sympathy in her eyes. Piccolo aghast. She's become so sinister, she had no reservations against killing her own brother. With his final breath, Gohan states, "So Babidi is the strong." Brawl faces the remaining fighters. She scowls. And that makes 3. Babidi grabs at his throat due to the lack of oxygen, spiting his minion for taking him here in the first place. Because of
make it top
her,
100
he's going to die of
Survivor
asphyxiation.
Oh, you're not going to die!
Of asphyxiation.
It's the last Senzu. Little Cell, give it to your father.
And that makes 4.
Eat this!
Nucleus, where are you?
That's
There
Brock.
he is.
Vegeto's daughter.
As the remaining
time- in
Gohan
this,
feels
story.
Cell's energy disappear, he is now the lone warrior who can truly stand up to Brawl. But with Majin Buu, who knows what's possible? Reminding the creature he's the only one who can save his master now, explaining what he has to do. While Fipsel calls out to their adversary, scolding she was supposed to save the Hellites universe. Now look at her! As her Ultra Armor informs, there's only 1% energy left. The soldier decides to deactivate her gear, ringing out to the villain once more, inquiring if she's just incapable of keeping her promises. Taking a stance, she beckons her foe to remove her transformation.
This is called Dragon Ball
and they can
Multiverse.
fight one-on-one
Full tournament
without
story
any
by Mondo. Cool.
augmentations. But she has no interest in this proposal.
Pathetic. Even with that armor, you're just Carbonite!
Nearly destroying her own foot. It seems Brawl's managed to stave off the deadly Carbonite. When Gohan sees this as the perfect distraction to sick Buu on her,
We're actually
telling
running
the
out,
Cell
Terrence.
Jr. on his head. This is their last chance, so get ready.
Transform into a cookie!
Ready? Teleport! Their desperation shot failing. Universe 18's Brawl attempts to break Gohan's fall. The sight of her other self catching her eye, as she helplessly tries to awaken her friend, breaking out in tears, sobbing he'd not give up. Sun Brawl mocks her, giggling at how lost and useless she is. When the Grand Supreme Kai walks up behind her, commenting on the disharmony before him, as one kills her Gohan and the other protects him. Not wanting to hear his speech, he continues nonetheless, questioning if she is content with what she is. Not seeing the bigger picture, the villain only piffs at this inquiry, spouting of course she is. She defeated him all on her own. Bleeding out, the Kaioshin remarks he was mistaken about her, previously believing she aimed higher. Still not grasping what he's saying, Brawl barks she's on top,
They're both
demanding
saying
he
sex,
explain
no?
what he's on about. Putting it simply, the deity thought she wanted to become a complete fighter, body and soul, not just a slave to her fears. Putting an end to the conversation, she bellows to the sky she's number one. She controls her power, and she is complete.
Are you kidding me?
Again, getting her attention.
Control? Complete? You're pathetic!
Getting in her face, Sun Brawl growls, the version of herself she sees before her. The no-powered weakling who doesn't even know how to fight or transform is disgusting to even look at. But snapping back, her benevolent self shouts, her hands are clean. But the so-called warrior must not have even seen herself to be so delusional, to not understand she's being completely manipulated by Babidi. Even her father Vegeta at least had enough pride not to obey that feeble worm. And she is no fighter, only a servant. Barking, she get that psychotic mind of hers together before acting so tough, causing her adversary to balk. In disbelief, this insolent fool really thinks she's better than herself. But remembering the little comments made over the last few moments. I thought you aimed higher. Sun Brawl, you're stronger than this.
Are you incapable of keeping your promises?
Brawl's lost control of herself several times. So Babidi is the
Strongest? Stronger than me?
Her conscience finally catching up. At last, letting through the voices she's tried so hard to block out. Her other, commenting how her soul must be really dark to surrender to the likes of Babidi.
You think that everything is so simple? You have no idea what I've lived through.
Venturing
match is
back
going tonight.
several years ago, Universe 16. We spot Vegito and Sun Brawl in what looks like an asteroid field, or possibly the room of spirit and time, morphing the area. The young girl looks up at her father, with fear in her eyes, as he scowls down at her. Gritting his teeth, He states he is still much stronger than her, but one day that won't be the case.
He got sent
before
away
that
off
day
planet right now.
comes,
All the good guys.
He will kill her.
Yeah, I don't
trying
know.
to,
So
find a way back.
what? Okay, so you have some baggage. Do you want a hug?
Brawl continues to chide her other iteration, mocking Sun Brawl, the great and fearful Super Saiyan. She can wipe out a galaxy, but just can't seem to get over her poor little feelings, screaming what she thinks gives her the right to use this. Oh no, this emotional pain is just too much for me. Excuse. After all, she wants to be #1 in the universe, right? Passing all trials except the ones in her twisted head, claiming this doesn't make her the best.
Off
It
planet
just
right
makes
now.
her someone strong who lets someone else carry her along. Scoffing, she's nothing more than submissive.
I am not submissive!
After taking so many innocent lives, killing so many of her friends and family, Sun Brawl has finally seen through her bondage. But upon absorbing what she has done, it's unclear if she will ever truly recover. Freeing herself from Bobity's control, both girls can only sit amongst the devastation, one absorbing what she's done. Now seeing clearly, she realizes she's killed everyone, including Gohan. Looking at her hands, she knows she's no better than a murderer, and she can't be forgiven for what she has done. Elsewhere, Zenbu senses the chaos has finally come to an end, being aware of all the carnage this entire time, if not an instigator of it, but has done
This is a
nothing to
different Brawl.
intervene, merely looking in for his own entertainment. He states aloud, "It's over," offering a spoiler alert to Bobity. He lost. Instead of killing him as previously implied, the Majin decided to torture him in a relatively childish and non-lethal way, though definitely torture nonetheless. He zips back to the others to alert everyone of his, quote, findings. "Hey Gotenks, I just found him." "Don't touch me!" Understandably, the Fused Fighter doesn't exactly get comfortable vibes from this guy. Boo tells everyone to form a chain. They're heading back now. Not as apprehensive, but still not quite at ease. Elaine doesn't hesitate in reaching out to join hands. The separated group arrives back at the arena for the first time since Bobity's rampage began. The initial thing which catches their eyes, the utterly butchered state the planetoid is in. But that is only the beginning of the horror. Looking close, they notice the countless bodies lining the arena. Some are terrified, some confused, some furious. Walking closer to confirm those who have fallen, Trunks can only comment on what a massacre this is, and he has as much reason to be jaded as anyone. The South
Alright,
Kaioshin
you found a
rushes
match,
over
just
to
start in 2
West,
minutes.
seeing the brutal condition that caused her death. Elaine checks in on his fellow Helllight, curious about the insignia on his forehead. While he hasn't gotten a lot of attention in the past, Goten is left one of the few survivors, giving as much as he could possibly offer, like how his brother did against Cell all those years ago, or his father against Vegeta during their first encounter on Earth. Trunks helps his lifelong friend to his feet, exclaiming they really did a number on him. Though probably the most upsetting, the Pan of our Universe 18 stumbles across her deceased father, in a reality swelling with godlike warriors, or maybe especially in such a place. In the eyes of the young, it's easy to forget your parents are not invincible. Brawl stands in the background not knowing what to say to comfort her, as if those words exist. Vegeta steps over to his daughter asking if she's okay, and where the enemies are, causing her to break eye contact, muttering they've been defeated, before remembering Bobity must still be out there in space somewhere. Universe 16's Brawl quells she not worry. By now he surely died from the lack of oxygen. Boo, acting as the comic relief, does his best to play along, supporting her theory with a, "Oh yeah, for sure." Attempting to comfort his granddaughter, Goku questions what happened here, which leads Zenbu to speak loud enough for all to hear. He explains he has read the minds of everybody, both living and dead, and he knows everything, and it's one hiffle of a story, offering to share these events with them as if they were there themselves. But first, we have to double back to his previous statement about him reading everyone's mind, which he does have the ability to do, but that's not how he knows what happened. Nonetheless, he projects everything we know into the memories of everybody.
You have to be joking, my guy.
That's a new power key. Place it now. Hey, great! You found another power key. Use it quick. That's a new power key. Place it now.
Flying Nimbus!
Give me a lift!
Thank you.
Hey! Give me a lift!
Access the startup system from the central area. Just a little more to go, then you're done.
Holy hell.
some supplies to help. Make good use of them.
You just need one more Dragon Ball.
You've got all 7 Dragon Balls.
I'm not
Summon
gonna rush
Shenron
it.
at the altar. The startup system is under attack. Stop it if you can, but retreat if you need to. Got it?
Consider it done.
Stay calm. Stay calm.
The startup system's under attack. It's dangerous, so tread carefully if you want to get closer.
You're done! What?
Yo, T, if you're watching, beat Broly.
Everybody nearby, showcasing every meticulous little detail, from how Babidi was at the forefront of this assault, taking control over everyone who could be possessed. His newly formed evil army sought to kill as many spectators and warriors as possible, causing even the most unexpected of heroes to rise up and fight for their lives, though nearly all would fall in this endeavor. One detail he omits is what's going on with Universe 9, as to not tip off Vegeta to Raditz' agreement with the old Kai. And of course, the moment that stands out the most in this compilation of the slaughter is Sun Brawl surrendering herself to Babidi. As we know from one of the most recent backstories, Vegito's fragile patience with his daughter finally reaches its breaking point. Towering over her, he demands to know if this is true. Did she really fall under that wizard's control and kill these people? The young girl doesn't defend herself, admitting to everything he just saw, and it was entirely her fault. As even Goku bellows to restrain himself as she's no longer with Babidi. He suddenly falls from his most powerful form, almost as if his strength had been sapped away. The tension in the air becomes immeasurable as everybody looks on, not knowing how to react. As it's revealed to be Gast who's behind this. Confirming how it appears, Vegito is stricken with a cold sweat, feeling all of his ki vanish. The Namekian presses, that is enough. Babidi has mind control magic, and this girl was his victim. Why attack her like this? Though his lack of strength doesn't extinguish his anger. Scoffing, victim, Babidi's magic is easy to break. Brawl has no self-control, and for a puny increase in power, she surrendered the little sanity she had. When Pan approaches her, shouting, "You killed Dad!" sobbing how she could have done such a thing. The moment plays back in Brawl's head, causing the tears to begin again. She tells Gast Vegito is right. This is all her fault, and to just let her father kill her and be done with it. Who again pleads to be released so he can do it now, claiming it's his responsibility. But to kill his own daughter, why would anyone allow that? The Namek argues. Gotenks joins the conversation with a little insight. He explains son Brawl is a berserker. She has never been able to control herself while using Super Saiyan 2. Vegito promised to protect the universe by all costs, even against her if necessary. And he only knows how to do this in one way, by eliminating her. Looking down at his father, the combination of Goten and Trunks scolds he isn't the only judge if Brawl were to pass the point of no return. If she becomes their enemy, it's all their responsibility. Even if she were to do so with magic, they have magic means to handle that as well, asserting they have already talked about this before. Reprimanding he stopped thinking he's alone here. Vegito retains his stance. Doubling down, he grits Gotenks is an idiot and that she has already sold her soul to Babidi. She has committed the worst acts of cruelty imaginable, and he thinks she hasn't passed the point of no return. But from what he's been told, it was him who sold his soul to Babidi. Vegito wanted the benefits of the wizard's power, regardless whether or not he obeyed him. Brawl was brainwashed by surprise. She was just a servant like the others. Arbral mentioned she managed to break free of the mind control on her own. As far as she's concerned, she's in charge of her life now. If nobody has noticed, she can also perfectly control Super Saiyan 2 now. Though the troubled warrior sits in silence, her tears slowly dry. Addressing her father, she doesn't argue with the fact she deserves to be eliminated for what she has done. The guilt in her heart can't reason otherwise. But she asks if his opinion of her is really so low. He really believes she willingly submitted herself to Babidi. Gast lectures a father should trust in his child and look to save them, not murder. Though he is too prideful to allow himself to be judged by the likes of them. Gotenks chides he decides everything on his own, and he's fallible and hot-headed as well. If some Brawl managed today, it was no thanks to him. Vegito has never known any semblance of regret for his past actions, and sometimes they all wonder if it'll be him they need to protect the universe against. Brawl returns to her base form. She admits she knows she's not perfect, otherwise Babidi would have never gotten a hold of her. She's aware of the resentment and hatred she has within her. But her dad has these things as well, and now she knows what it's like to be completely submerged by all these feelings, and will never allow it to happen again. What's further, she has been wrong her entire life. She obsessed about following the path Vegito paved because she admired him, but that too will be left in the past, as she doesn't want to be stronger than him anymore. She wants to be stronger than her other self, finding great respect in her bravery and mental toughness to stand up against her, despite knowing she didn't have a chance. With this, Gast considers the situation resolved. He releases Vegito from his lock, though he only growls what happens when she reaches Super Saiyan 3. The Namekian quips he will have to wait and see. Elaine moves to shift the focus from the family drama playing out, bringing attention to the reality they need to handle more than just their problems. He asks if anybody knows if they're able to get their hands on a set of Dragon Balls, but Oob isn't sure. With everything so destroyed, it's going to be very difficult to— No, not at all! Allow me. Showing to have near infinite powers, Boo instantly restores the arena to pristine condition. Not only that, but everyone returns to life, reuniting a couple of families. The Majin details he has restored the dead, healed the injured, and repaired absolutely everything, including the Vargas technology. Also, Babidi's mind control has been removed. With everyone coming back to their senses at once, they find themselves in a bit of a daze, unsure if it's really over. Though some grudges remain regardless of the circumstances. One spectator excitedly exclaims that's the third time he's died, as another shouts he's almost filled his loyalty card. The next death, he goes straight to the VIP heaven, instead of, I don't know, maybe a Sunday or two. We get a glimpse of the various other reactions on the planetoid. Possibly the biggest question lingering, is King Cold really Ginyu again? Or was the Frost Demon's soul returned to his body, and he's witnessing this all for the first time? Reviving a little too close to Nappa, Videl cowers a bit at the memory. Walking her back to the apartments, he offers to explain. But Boo already projected everything that happened into her mind. But does that mean everyone knows everything now? Cell is left with a litter of children who are much happier to see him than the other way around. But Vegito can't help but let the fury build inside of him. Lamenting, Boo and Gast have powers far beyond what he imagined, returning to his bitterness of feeling entitled to win this tournament. But these ridiculous magic powers, it's cheating! With the best buds of our universe, Goku comments how amazing Boo and Gast are, wondering if they can actually beat him in a fight. Boob on the same note, thinking how incredible their magic is, when the Majin questions aloud if he'd like to learn how to use it himself. Reading his thoughts, Boob is frozen with fear. South Kaioshin grabs Dabura by the throat. He already wanted a reason to get at him. This chaos with Babidi is the perfect excuse, commanding him to tell him where his master is, prompting innocent Boo to shout for him to leave his buddy alone. This cues Zen Boo to fetch the wizard from his bubble in space, urging everyone to relax. Turning to an organizer, he inquires if they'd like to do the honors, who with pleasure doesn't hesitate to send them back to their native universe, finally putting this madness to an end. In Universe 11, the trio arrives in what appears to be either Babidi's ship or a new structure of his. Fuming to be at the cups of control only to see it slip away, he vows to assemble a new army and make them pay, screaming for Dabura to find that Varga planet, and they will! Though, something is uncharacteristically off about the demon, who is faced in the opposite direction, trembling.
Years of servitude!
For the first time in eons, the King of Demons is free. He stomps in the wizard's direction, scowling he will pay for this, who begins trembling himself for other reasons. He bellows for Boo to kill Dabura immediately, who nonchalantly responds, nah, leaving him with little hope. Spitting on his former captor, he slowly begins turning to stone. In a state of panic, he quickly tries to remember a counterspell.
What are you talking about? What
Before he can do so, he becomes nothing more than a statue. Calmly turning to Boo, he can't help but ask why he didn't obey Babidi. But Jolly Majin explains he had a long conversation with his other buddy, the second Boo from before. He convinced him he's a big boy now and doesn't have to do what he doesn't want to, which brings a smile to the demon's face. He laughs, he is truly a chaotic now. In fact, he appreciates that quality, suggesting that since he has nowhere else to go, why not accompany him to the demon realm? He needs to reconquer his throne in hell. And just as innocent as ever, and since B likely isn't in the picture, he asks if he does so, can he have a dog? And as luck would have it, Dabura knows the perfect companion for him. With the help of the Majin, it didn't take much for the King of Demons to once again reclaim his place in royalty, keeping the statue of Babidi as a trophy. We see there are some intriguing faces standing by his side. One in particular has my personal interest. In keeping his word, Dabura indeed had the perfect friend in mind for Majin Buu. Cracking his knuckles and smiling as he does, Goku excitedly questions if they can get back to the tournament now. It should be his turn. Though there are some in the audience still taking exception to what just happened. A man shouts that many of those still here attacked innocent people, but the organizers only booted 3 of them. Another pointing to someone in agreement, who argues she wasn't in control. Nappa tosses his hands up, claiming he and the others from his universe were manipulated too. They didn't want any of this. But Kakarot actually kind of liked it. Shut up! Cold, or Ginyu, makes his own case, pleading in an over-the-top manner to the gods of this universe to allow him to present his humble and sincerest apologies. The behavior he displayed earlier was shameful. Bowing, he promises to never again show disrespect towards the Kaioshins. Grand Supreme comments how subservient of cold that is, but they are correct. Those corrupted by Babidi are not angels, but they are also victims in this affair. Their actions will not be held against them. Most of the audience members seem happy with this and appear to begin getting along. The previously possessed warrior compliments his female adversary. She fights well and he feels they're gonna be friends. Which reminds him, he knows a great way to make some easy money if she's down. But with the inference being malevolent, she quickly takes his arm off him to not so subtly decline. Away, South Kaio grows suspicious of his superior. His tendency to forgive everything that has just happened is extremely abnormal. What could possibly be going on? Heading back to his assigned area, Ginyu is given a cold greeting by his sons. During the melee, his true identity was revealed and the Frost Demons haven't forgotten. Also given that in their universe, Frieza himself attempted to execute the former Ginyu Force commander for letting his kingdom fall to ruins during an attack. This entire time, they believed his life ended there. Cooler wants to be perfectly clear. They're aware he isn't their father and they don't appreciate being duped. With that being said, he did successfully plea in their favor, and at the end of the day has proven far more capable than King Cold. Frieza comments he can keep his position, but they will be renegotiating how they share their territory back in their universe. Though we have to question if this is how they really feel, or simply know they wouldn't stand a chance against Ginyu in battle. Heading back to the apartment, Yamcha alerts the others that everything seems to have calmed down. Inside, Old Kai and Raditz continue the ritual to unlock the Saiyan's ultimate form. He questions the Elder if they're done, but not yet. They've only just started. For the second part, they will go elsewhere. But in a place like this, where could Old Kai possibly
Next
plan
match
on
is
taking
Thursday.
him? With a flick of the wrist, Zenbu begins to be sucked back into containment, protesting, "Even after I saved everyone?" Sporting a devastated face, he tells the Kaioshin he's tough, who replies it's his punishment for not having helped against Babidi. Though the deity would have looked really dumb had Buu not instantly pretended to be affected by his technique. But his other believes he knows him quite well now, all but confirming the two of them are conspiring on something. As the fallout continues, Narb hangs his head in shame. Surrendering his armor, he states he's not worthy of the title Ultra and requests to be court-martialed. This coming after he was one of the few of his team.
Make me immortal!
I made you a promise, didn't I? Let the
All right, gents, good luck.
begin. Give me the Dragon Balls.
What are those?
If you do not have them, then I have no need for them. Give me the Dragon Balls.
Dragon, whatchamacallit? What are those?
Very well then.
Someone save
Give me the Dragon Balls.
Dragon Balls? What?
Careful now. This won't be like before. Be gentle. Where are the Dragon Balls?
What do you mean?
Where are the Dragon Balls? You won't get your wish. Very well. I'll make sure your death is quick. Give me the Dragon Balls.
What are those?
If you do not have them, then I have no need.
Understood.
Team to fall under the wizard's evil control. In a universe where they are considered to be the greatest heroes of all, the warrior let himself down at his lack of resistance. With the androids, 17 is sick and tired of this tournament, and the Jinn didn't even resuscitate his sister. He starts to think if he pretends to listen to that Yamcha guy, maybe he will repair the both of them. And then, jumping back over to the Saiyans, Kakarot asks Vegeta, "So, stuck with the good guys?" as he was off with Super Buu and the others during the mayhem, who promptly responds, "So, stuck being a good boy, Mr. I don't obey anyone?" Before inquiring how many times he has died, though Kakarot is happy to answer with, "Only 3 times." With Bardock, he's just happy he doesn't have to listen to that little worm anymore, though he has to admit, he liked losing his doubts and budding compassion growing within him, something King Piccolo can relate to well. Approaching Gohan, Brawl burst out into tears trying to apologize. She never should have, but he assures she not worry about it. He knows, and he's glad she's back. Turning to Pan, she reaches out to address her, but she jerks her arm away. Taking off, Gohan tells Brawl to give her time. Videl amending, lots of time. After seeing what she did to her dad, Pan is understandably struggling to come to terms with everything that's happened. A Mini Cell Jr. floats over to Gohan's ear to comment she's too young to understand. But the Saiyan wants none of it, demanding he go back to his own area. Whipping his head in Cell's direction, he tells the bio-android he wasn't under the influence of Babidi. His cruel plans only served to satisfy himself. Neither he or any of his avatars can come anywhere near his universe. Who retorts with a sly grin, asking if he plans to punish him for being so bad. He's afraid Gohan has already proven incapable of killing him. What's he going to do? Improvise a plan with his double? Right on cue, said double appears right behind him to utter, "Maybe," terrifying the villain. Now surrounded, the initial Gohan warns Cell he better hold the line. Trying to keep an eye on both, Cell nervously tries to appeal, but they're gone. Taking enough satisfaction in making the fiend squirm, they simply walk away. With the organizers, Buu remade everything as it was before. Almost everything. One of the Vargas pleads in terror that it's not his fault. Even the Kaioshin said so, and to please not fire him. But they merely ask, what's not his fault? Causing another to question if he's the one who spilled the coffee. Taking the opportunity, he sheepishly says, "Yeah, that's what I was talking about. The coffee!" Activating the microphone, the announcer goes to call the fights for the quarterfinals. Son Goku versus Oob, Vegeta versus Cell, C versus Buu, and Son Brawl versus Gas Karkle. And for these fights, the ring will change one final time. The gravity will return to normal so the participants can fight at full capacity. The moment of truth arrives for Oob. He steps into the fighting area with his mentor. Turning on Super Saiyan, Goku tells him the warm-up's over, but Oob doesn't want to go through their power-ups one by one. Charging directly into his maximum Kaioken. For once, the Saiyan complies with this, stepping it up to Super Saiyan 3. Piccolo notes the combat won't last long. Oob's body won't be able to hold out using the Kaioken. Vegeta argues that Super Saiyan 3 is also difficult to sustain. It may be closer than it appears. Though Piccolo can only think that Super Saiyan doesn't literally destroy the user's body.
He's already feeling the effects of an overcharged Kaioken.
As Goku begins to take the advantage, Oob casts out his arm and shouts, "Transform into candy!" But it was just a bluff. He doesn't actually know how to do that. However, it did work quite well in warding off his foe. Landing that deep kick, the battle appears to be over before Oob even hits the ground. Placing his hands on his hips, Goku congratulates him on a job well done. He may have won this time, but he can't wait for the next. Kaioken! Transcendent! Knocking each other out simultaneously. It's a double KO. Kind of like a video game. The organizers look on, not knowing what to do. 30 seconds pass and the pair still haven't moved. They speak amongst each other to decide on a solution. They never considered this to be a possibility. However, one of them catches up on some fine, cultured reading and has the perfect idea. The first to get up will be declared the winner. Whether speaking with each other telepathically or simply thinking to themselves, Oob tells his master he hurts everywhere. He's paralyzed, relinquishing the victory to Goku. But he does the same, claiming his student deserves to win. He can't even lift a finger. But no! Giving up isn't their style. Only one of them able to reach their feet. Goku's bout with Jackie Chun comes full circle as he is declared the winner today. Several years ago, when Goku first took off with Oob to begin his training, he told the boy when he's better trained, they'll have another duel, just the two of them. He considers this to be his final objective. Still adjusting to the situation, Oob doesn't know what to say. After they're both healed back in the present, Goku tells Oob that was amazing. He, for some reason, comes off as unsure. He admits he doesn't know if he gave him the duel he wanted. But of course he did, and the next one will be even better. But it won't be between master and disciple. From now on, they're equals. He ushers Piccolo to do his thing, delivering Oob his own personal gi. The two shake hands as Goku cheers for him to become even better. Young Pan reminds her grandfather that he still has another pupil, and their own duel will be incredible. Her elder promises he's counting on it. Which brings us to the next battle, Vegeta versus Cell. Stepping up for his match, his first
I've set a super time machine, as well as a crate of supplies. Here's how to launch. Find the power keys, then place them in the right spots.
Thank you very much.
intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies.
Flying Nimbus! Stay calm. Stay calm. You're done! You bastard!
Access the startup system from the central area. Just a little more to go, then you're done. Hey! This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise
I owe you one.
caution if you're going to help them.
Holy hell.
Jeez.
I sent you a super transfer. Use it to hold the enemy back. I'll send some supplies to help. Make good use of them. Ally down! If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies. This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them.
You bastard!
Bro, what the heck, man? Honestly, what a waste.
Get up! I owe you one. Oh, man.
An ally needs your help. We don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in.
Eyes on me. What is this?
As long as everyone does their part, we get the W. GG's.
Since defeating Kakarot of Universe 13, Trunks asks if he decided to hide any Senzu beans in his gloves too, just like Brawl did. But with a shocked reaction, the prince stutters to refute such treacherous accusations, like someone of his stature would ever stoop so low. Though his overzealous retort causes the kids to double down on the idea, saying he totally stashed some beans. Though these childish antics don't manage to distract the prince for long. As he eagerly enters the ring, Gohan reminds this Cell is terribly strong, maybe even stronger than himself. It's uncertain what kind of battles or training he's undergone, but he's far from the same villain they faced. But Vegeta only snarkily questions if that's supposed to scare him, completely confident he can take him down regardless of how much stronger he's gotten. With both fighters in place, the battle can begin without announcement on their own will. Skipping the silent stare down, Cell mocks Vegeta isn't being very cautious. He's very weak in his base form. Actually, in merely the brief time it'd take him to turn Super Saiyan, he could easily kill him where he stands. His foe smirks, he just try then. Proving the villain wrong, Cell is sliced into several pieces. On the ground, mangled but mostly undeterred given his biology, he scoffs that it appears Vegeta doesn't want to waste any time, but if he wants every move to be a trick, that's fine with him. Both similar and unlike the fight with Goku many years ago, the Bio-Android doesn't split into several different entities, but reforms into them instead. While alarming the aforementioned hero, Piccolo sees right through this. It's simply what Cell said it is, a trick. He isn't Majin Buu, and he only has one core he regenerates from. 3 of these clones are fake. But Goku argues if they move and attack just like the original, they aren't really fakes, are they?
So, Vegeta, can't dodge all of us. Dodge!
Coming on the back. Just start in 2 minutes.
Eliminating 25% of the problem, Vegeta realizes these are some kind of Cell Jr.-like creations. They are less strong and less resistant to damage.
You really think this is going to be enough? You can't escape! Hello? You're trapped!
Taking out a couple more cells, Oob asks what happened, something that didn't escape Goku's sight. He explains that Vegeta hitting the wall wasn't an accident. He created the explosion himself to hide in the smoke. However, He had to wait till the absolute last moment to make it look like Cell's beams created it. He never actually lost control of his own attack and directed the blast back towards his opponent. Cell shouts that was fun, but Vegeta is still much less powerful than him. As Cell powers an attack to completely encumber the enclosure of the fighting area, Goku stares in awe, wondering how much power this version of Cell has. It's crazy! With that contained explosion, Vegeta was left with nowhere to run. Cell catches his breath, clearly satisfied with how that went. The gang frantically looks around for their ally. Goku questions if anyone sees him. He didn't appear to shield himself. Did he take that blast head on? Piccolo comments if that is the case, might be dead now. Prompting the prince to scoff. Yeah, might be. Confused, Goku wonders what his rival is doing here of all places. Vegeta reminds there's no rule which forbids fighters from leaving the ring, leading to further questions. How was he able to even get here? Placing his fingers to his forehead, his other laughs that Kakarot really thinks that over the course of 30 years, he didn't learn how that technique of his worked. Instant transmissioning back to Cell. He mocks that he hopes he didn't get too tired from that last attack, because he's not even warmed up. Frustrated, Cell also powers up, claiming Vegeta is still weak. Launching Vegeta to the ground, he just lies there for a moment. Cell barks what he's waiting for, though not in reference to him not moving. He wants the Saiyan to go to the next level. Son Goku did it. A few other Saiyans did it. Don't tell him he's the only one who can't do it. Causing Emperor Vegeta to chuckle a bit as he used the form against Raichi and his ghost minions. But our Vegeta states that form is worthless, as he always has. It drains the user's energy within a minute. He'll pass. His own way is far more effective. Taken aback, Cell inquires if he has an even better transformation up his sleeve. With a subtle laugh, Vegeta questions if he'd like to see it. If so, it's time for the final round. Revealing he did hide some Senzus in his glove. He tosses one to his opponent, telling him to catch as he eats one himself. Fielding it, Cell smiles that he sees Son Goku influence him, but is never able to finish the sentence, as the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta plunges his fist into the monster's chest. Pitting his own words against him, the Saiyan mocks Cell wasn't being very cautious. He's very weak as he is now. Indeed, this transformation is only good for a few seconds, but at least he knows how to make them count. For someone like him, even seconds is overkill. Gohan warned him about his core. It moves within his body and is more protected than any of his other parts. By observing his movements and watching how he defends himself, Vegeta was able to find just where this core was. In a rare instance, he actually uses Goku's Earth name, claiming he did influence him. Gohan too. In fact, there are plenty of others as well. They all made him stronger. Holding his bleeding core, he reminds he is still Vegeta though. Crushing it, he screams he's the one who isn't afraid to use dirty tricks to win. Putting an end to Cell, Vegeta powers down as he is officially declared the winner. Much to the horror of the Cell Juniors, the tiny one rushes over to scold Vegeta. He killed their dad. That wasn't necessary. But the prince argues their daddy threatened his daughter. That wasn't necessary, seeming to change the Junior's attitude pretty quick. He goes to step out of the ring as Goku shouts that was a really great fight. Really impressive. But he can still do much better, right? Knowing their own match is soon to come. And of course he can. Who does he think he's talking to? Piccolo comments on those Senzu beans from before. He didn't realize he had taken any to this tournament, but the prince claims he didn't. These are simply the green beans from the kitchen, meaning he neither healed himself or had any intent to heal Cell either. Figuring this Cell also had Goku toss him a Senzu during the Cell games, he thought this might work as a distraction today. Varga announces that since the schedule has been changed quite a bit due to the unforeseen circumstances from before, they now want to ask the public if they want to call it a night, or teleporting in. Vegito adds, or lunch? Of course they want lunch! With Oob and Perfect Cell now out of the tournament, nothing is stopping a Goku-Vegeta rematch as they are slated to face off in the semifinal. Meanwhile, after a short intermission, we will have either the mysterious Z take on the seemingly omnipotent Zenbu, or some brawl up against Gas Karkle, leading us to wonder, if one of our heroes win, they plan to give their wish away, the wish being the grand prize. Gas wants to bring back his fellow Namekians, and Zenbu has no need for a wish as he can pretty much do whatever he wants. Let's see, what does he desire? After Vegeta's victory over Perfect Cell, a Varga in a chef's uniform comes angrily stomping out during the intermission. Goku stares back at him with a giant smile on his face, asking if he's here to take their order. But with a not-so-excited not smile, he grumpily shouts, "No!" revealing the entire culinary staff to be behind him. They refuse to take any more orders from universes with Saiyans. They're on strike. While Grandpa and Granddaughter express the exact same look on their faces, Goten and Trunks can't help but
Alright,
bellow
guys,
out
next
with
match is
laughter and
starting
mock the
2 minutes.
situation, chuckling comments like, "And so our heroes were vanquished! The whole universe would fall to the dominions of the cooks!" Gohan steps over to the man and suggests there's surely an arrangement they can come to. What can they do to help? And smirking for the first time, "Help," he says. Yes. If they work for them in the kitchen, they can have their meal. While all the others optimistically stand to go help in the kitchen, Brawl looks towards her father to see where he stands on all of this. But he only mutters he's not hungry. While this could be interpreted as his pride won't allow him to help assist with the next meal, it could also lead us to wonder if one of those beans in his glove was actually a Senzu after all. Although this particular effect hasn't been highlighted in quite a while in the series, they also provide 10 days worth of food to whoever eats one. Either way, Goku calls out for Chi-Chi to come and help, when his son stops him to insist they not bother her with this one. It's time to grow up. It's time to learn how to use a microwave. The chef marches his new workers back to the kitchen to begin the prep work. But Piccolo is still stuck on an image from before he can't unsee. Vargas have teeth? Inside, one directs Gohan to chop up these carrots. But don't they have a machine for that? The Birdman chides the faster he starts.
Can you hear me? It's
Flying
Trunks.
Nimbus!
I've set a super time machine, as well as a crate of supplies. Here's how to launch. Find the power keys, then place them in the right spots.
You bastards! I'll skewer you alive! Oh, looky here! The poor things can't move a muscle! How did you know? What? How did they get all the way over there that fast?
Thanks.
I can't believe I lost to a lowlife like you. How humiliating!
You found a power key. Go slot it. This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help.
I'll hide behind that cliff and ambush them as soon as they're frozen.
Goron! You're done!
I can't believe I lost to a lowlife like you. Oh, screw you!
There's no getting around this. Guess I'll take care of it. Alrighty. Now, it's time
power key. Use it quick. Ally down. If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies.
Hey, you alright? Alrighty. Now, it's time to play. Yahoo!
I owe you one.
Flying Nimbus!
An ally needs your help. You don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in.
And now, for the finish!
Ally down. If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies. Great. You know what to do with that key.
Yeah! That's the spirit!
This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them.
Bastard!
Someone, anyone, please!
Where am I?
Hey, you alright?
I'm scared. Oh no!
Someone's...
Yahoo!
Where am I?
Someone, anyone, please!
Where am I?
Someone, anyone, please! I'm scared.
Hey, you alright?
system for the Super Time Machine is ready. Head there now.
Welcome. Thank you. Oh.
Stay calm. Stay calm.
Welcome.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's the spirit. Alrighty. Now, it's time to play.
The startup system is under attack. Dominating the air, retreating.
Yeah. Alright. That's the spirit.
Alright!
Hey, not bad.
Can't believe they got Raccoon. Time for us to get into the fight. Help. Make good use of them.
What happened?
What the hell?
They're so fast.
Oh, this is a nightmare. We're completely helpless here.
I see. This guy's a lot more capable than he looks. Aren't I an amazing captain? What's it to you? Unbelievable! So this is your true power! Where were you hiding it? You bastard! How dare you! No! This cannot be! You're gone! The great Captain Ginyu will not fall for such tricks. Is a crash course in Ginyu 101! What's the big idea? I thought I was a goner. Aren't I an amazing captain? Thank you kindly. Holy hell.
I don't know why this guy sold, but appreciate it, man.
I refuse to accept this!
And finished already. The Saiyan asks, what's next? Nearby, another tells Kakarot to take this piece of beef and bring it to when he takes a bite out of it. Being more or less frozen solid, the cook scolds that he needs to defrost it first. However, the Brute is content enough with it as it is. Roasting a whole fish over an open fire, Goku boasts to his youngest son that he can cook too, prompting Goten to take back what he said before. But after trying a bit, Goku can cook for Goku, as he has the low standards as his primitive self from Universe 13. He knows Chi-Chi is a much better cook than himself though. He questions his father why he didn't think to use any salt or spices. Meanwhile, the pants toss what appears to be pasta and potatoes into a giant pot. An annoyed Varga comments how this is actually their jacuzzi. They had to adapt to accommodate the Saiyans. Away, Emperor Vegeta barges into a room demanding to know where Raditz is. Looking around, it's the room he was in moments ago, but now only the humans remain. The former shouts he knows he came to see them. Undeterred, Krillin merely states they sent him on his way. Observant, he inquires the whereabouts of that, quote, crumpled god. Videl simply scoffs she's not his mother, so she doesn't know. While Yamcha makes a mad dash to point out, Vegeta here's worried the old Kaioshin is going to give his friend magical powers without him. Outside the arena, in the background, Vegito asks his universe's Piccolo if they have any more Senzus, but unfortunately they're clean out. Apparently, neither he or Son Brawl want to eat either. He figures at least himself can go on for a few more days without any, again pointing towards their caloric properties. In the foreground, it seems something very serious is on Oob's mind. Passing the version of himself we refer to as Zenbu. He moves to enter a random apartment. Calmly swinging open the door, he beckons if he can make him the greatest magician of all time. Revealing the aforementioned Boo, who sits comfortably in an armchair. He smugly quips he can make him the greatest magician after himself. Maybe, but to do that, he has a lot of things he must teach him. Fixing his mustache to the situation, Executive Chef Nappa showcases his masterful bacon wrapped potato. This way they can pass it off for a big piece of meat. But they already have. Then Trunks shows off his scientific prowess. He built a machine that creates edible meat. Gazing at it, the Varga can only stare bewildered if that's petrol or gasoline in the beaker. Don't throw fireballs in the oil! Stepping out of the kitchen, Goku goes to address Piccolo. He wants to know if he can remake their clothes. As Brawl holds her sides in laughter and Vegeta can only smile on at the gang's incompetence. One of the organizers thinks they can get back to it without the Saiyans' help. But with no further delay, C of Universe 5 and Boo of Universe 4 begins now. With his opponent already in the ring, he knows Vegito previously gave this magician a second of respite. He himself won't allow as much. Disintegrating the wizard. Is that it? He won just like that? As an ominous incantation echoes through the arena, our heroes look around wondering who just said that. As Boo is sealed within his cocoon, just like his original reveal from the series. But Bobbity isn't here, so who unleashed that spell? Technically, that would be outside help, wouldn't it? With C destroyed and Boo incapacitated, the announcer questions if neither manages to move within 30 seconds. Did they both lose? Because right now, she's not sure either are gonna get up before the other. When her other tells her to look. Presenting a gaseous embodiment, C states fighters are allowed to change form. Others have done it. He himself is conscious and Boo is not. He has won. And that's correct. With the 30 count reaching its end, victory goes to C. But hold on! Vegito wants to know how he uttered those magic words. The wizard argues he himself did. He had it set to launch automatically at the start of the fight, seeming to be some sort of latency ability. This then brings the fused warrior, likely still salty from his own loss, to beckon how he knows that spell. But Siru Books, he doesn't have to answer that. Gang gathers amongst each other and talks about how fishy all this is. Boo was so easily defeated. This guy seems to know everyone's weakness. At the cocoon, one of the Vargas figures they better move this thing before the next fight. When she notices the meter, the arrow points in the 1 o'clock position.
Wait! We need to send Boo back to his universe immediately and arrest the Grand Kaioshin.
South Kaio is strangely quick to agree. Scowling, he knew it. He tells them not to move. They will listen to what he has to say. Gas continues. He explains the Grand Kaioshin is in league with Boo of Universe 4. He never held him prisoner in his hand. He knows this because when Boo turned into a cocoon, he saw hundreds of Boo particles rejoin his body. They came from the public, the arena, and the corridor of Universe 4. Since the beginning, he's been moving around freely among them all. That's when the dots finally connect for Goku. He saw a bunch of little things fly into the cocoon too, but didn't know what they were. How strange. Goten shorts, and you never thought to tell us before? Weskai can tell Gast isn't lying. She pleads with the Grand Supreme to explain himself. Without mincing words, he admits that everything he has said is true. He indeed lied when he claimed he could copy Gast's technique. He did that to free Boo, and he is also correct that he is in league with them. But how could they even begin to understand? As soon as Boo arrived, they started communicating via telepathy. He thanked the Kaioshin for being the reason he is no longer a force of only blind hatred and violence. He was very honest with them from the get-go. Boo explained how in his universe, the Grand Supreme Kai sacrificed himself to save him, even though he was the enemy. They exchanged words, but also images and emotions in an accelerated manner. Over the last few days, they've exchanged the equivalent of millions of years of communication. They discussed things as tiny as a microorganism, things as big as dictating why the universe is ran the way it is, the essence of free will being the primary factor. The deity reveals Boo is infinitely more intelligent and interesting than anyone or anything he has ever known. He started admiring him. They became friends, then accomplices, and he understood that the Kaioshins aren't and weren't obliged to intervene as much as they have. The universe left to itself is indeed chaotic, but it's splendid. The one they have modeled in their own image, by murdering beings they didn't agree with, is bleak. Boo influenced them, that much is certain. He accepted every participant, including Broly and Tubus, who are anomalies against which they normally fight. Gast and Vegito also became anomalies, but because they are known to be good-hearted, they are the ones who are allowed to live? It's their subjective notions of good and bad that decide? Yes, Boo changed them. Yes, he's surprised at what he's become. But he himself also has a much larger vision than any of them. There's good in renewal of chaos. They can let go. And it's even more true now that they know there's an infinite number of universes. If something goes tragically wrong in billions of them, it can go differently in billions of others. Influencing one single universe is moot. Finally having enough of this nihilistic philosophy, South Kaio finally butts in. To sum it up, the Grand Supreme Kai has become completely corrupted. He himself is deposing him of his rank and title immediately. Half the participants here could endanger the entire multiverse, and they now know it's because he allowed this to happen because he's a servant of chaos. However, the accused has a rebuttal. He argues there is no danger, or never was. Boo could stop Broly at any time, and the same is true for any of the other participants. Wes sarcastically chimes back that she sees now. That's why he prevented Broly from attacking the participants, and Babidi from corrupting and attacking the entire audience. Though, he only sees that each time, all was well in the end. Didn't he end up fixing everything after? The final Kaioshin turns on their superior as well, not liking the idea of putting their destinies in the hands of a psychopath. As we glance back to the meter on the cocoon, it's now shown to have moved all the way to the 9 o'clock position. Whether oblivious to this or not, the Kaioshin insists they do not understand. They don't have a choice. Boo has been in control of everything for a while now. He's superior to them all. Fighting him is useless and a wasteful action in advance. He's an omnipotent entity. They can only try to comprehend him and live best with his decisions. Avarga takes it as her cue to cheerfully chortle. It doesn't seem like he's in control right now. So bye-bye, Boo. But instead of sending him back to his own universe, nothing happens, prompting GSK to awkwardly point out that he controls that machine too. Flustered, she figures she can just stick him in the ship and get him out of here the old-fashioned way, asking a nearby Namekian if he can lift this thing, which he's happy to do. Though the Kai assures all of this is pointless.
And I'm back. Of course I overcame my only weakness. Okay, I was a little slow, and I've lost my fight, but... Oh, you figured out I manipulated everyone and everything. Again.
With the cat out of the bag, Boo figures it's official now. He tells them not to worry, he won't be changing anything in this tournament, but he's going back to what he said before. He's opening a secondary tournament in parallel to this one. All of the God-tier fighters are obliged to participate, mentioning that even includes Gohan specifically. They'll make pools of 4 to enter the semifinals, and he'll dish out upgrades to anyone who wants, regardless of their level. But dumb entrapment techniques are completely banned. South Kai screams that this is out of the question. This tournament is canceled and everyone is going home. Now. You're not the one who decides. When will you learn? Vegito admits it's true they've gotten through each round pretty easily up until now, at least in terms of fighting technique and power. It'd be a pity to cancel this situation and not enjoy it. Boo accepted his defeat in the main event, so he's a good sport. They can fight in a side event. Who's it going to bother? But Gohan isn't so convinced easy would be a great word to describe all this. Goku agrees with his fused counterpart. Besides, he wants to fight against Vegito, as Goten believes his father would not win. Back to Gohan. He thinks the Kaioshins are right. They need to stop Boo. The tournament is not as important. Trunks at him, Boo doesn't know him as well as he thinks he does. They won't just allow him to decide for him. Son Brawl gets in on the objection too, rightfully having the most reason to be furious. This creature has been enjoying watching them being tortured, and now he's done playing with them. She appeals to her father that if they let him be, he will have control over every universe, theirs included. And either surprised at the hostile response, or not even having thought of the thing Brawl just said. Seriously. Well then. All of you, have at me! It seems I need to teach you a lesson. As the Grand Supreme Kai laments, it always seems to have to end like this. South can only grit his teeth that a superior would even dare make such a comment. With Boo breaking off into dozens of clones, how will our heroes handle this most recent obstacle?
I've set a super time machine, as well as a crate of supplies. Here's how to launch. Find the power keys, then place them in the right spots.
You're my savior.
You found a power key. Go slot it. Great. You know what to do with that key.
Flying Nimbus!
Done playing around.
An ally needs your help. We don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in. found another power key. Use it quick.
Stay calm. Stay calm. You're done!
Start a system from the central area. Just a little more to go, then you're done.
Stay calm. Stay calm.
Ally down! If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies.
Stay calm. Stay calm. Stay calm. Stay calm.
I'll send some supplies to them. Make good use of them.
Oh, Trunks took like 3 minutes to send out their supplies, bro.
Say goodbye! Bastard! Flying Nimbus! Tag!
Bro, why you guys have to come over here? Go.
Where's my thank you? Scary. Bastard!
Yeah, I'm gonna break my controller. I swear I'm gonna break my controller. Oh my gosh.
That was scary!
Hey, everyone! Stay calm. Stay calm.
Oh, he gave up.
Just got all 7
Impossible!
How can they hope to defeat an enemy with such inconceivable power?
Previously on DB Multiverse. Trapped by the evil sea, our hero's scheming came to light. These so-called good guys aren't happy and want to fight the voice of reason. That's me, of course. Will the magnificent, omniscient, and ever-humble Majin Buu be able to overcome this insurmountable threat?
Yes. Yes, he's going to smash them.
First setting his sights on Gast, Buu explains how he prepared this trap hours ago. Finally getting to use it, he reveals that since he's absorbed countless magicians, he threw in a little bit of everything to take care of the godlike Namekian, just in case. Since Gast is resistant to pretty much everything, he sees he was right to do this since 1 or 2 spells are clearly making headway. He tells how the Dark World Lightning has stopped his movements, if only for a second. But that's more than enough time for the antimatter holes to form within his body. And then there are the microdimensions in the back. Tricky and very dangerous. But of course, you can leave nothing of such a powerful Namekian brain. This preset trap infuriates future Trunks. He grits how Buu can call himself powerful, but has to prepare his attacks in advance. Alas, the Majin assures that was just for Gast. He's the only one who actually worries him, so he had to take his precautions. But he can resuscitate him whenever he wants anyway, so no harm, no foul. Causing Vegeto's pride to take hold. The only one who worries him, Buu will see. Upping the ante even more. The Fiend snares that against the rest of them, he promises not to use any magic. Giving the Fused Fighter all he needs to decide that he's just mocking him now. He'll remind Buu that he can destroy him in one shot.
Oh, I'm so scared.
Inside the Varga's control booth, the female Varga, who I'm just going to call Girl Duck from now on, she shouts that's enough at one of Buu's many iterations. As the organizers of this tournament, they won't allow his actions to carry on like this any longer. Who can't restrain himself from laughing at her confident gusto. Bending down to her level to make eye contact, he questions what exactly she's going to do. As she pulls out a box of some kind and bellows, "This!" With a recording of C rumbling out the incantation which sealed the Majin only moments ago. The chaotic creature takes pity on her naivety and pats her on the head. The poor baby bird thinks boomboxes have magical powers. Outside, our Universe 18 warriors do everything they possibly can to fend off Buu's bum rush towards them.
Yes! Strength in numbers!
Even Buu himself.
Treason! Gotenks is attacking us, my friends!
Stop! Hey, wait! We've got no quarrels here!
Rethinking has a solve.
The Majin doesn't want to attack anyone who doesn't oppose him, except he himself really wants to fight Nappa. What to do? Kakarot is quick to solve this question by screaming that he wants to bash this guy's face in, which pretty much settles things for the group, as Boo is all for a fair democracy in this circumstance. I'm your opponent. Leave all headless over there for your buddy. This newest interruption, while entertaining, seems to finally begin to wear on the audience. This was supposed to be an organized tournament. Another comments how at least this time the public isn't being attacked. Another spectator from before stands and grunts that they can't let this infamy continue. Her viewer from her left agreeing. It's time to see a little action themselves.
Please remain seated during the intermission.
Yes, Mr. Boo! I'm at your service, Mr. Boo! Who quickly changes his mind upon being confronted by the Omniscient. While his would-be ally expresses her disappointment in him, he wisely asks what the big deal is. They have exactly 0 chance. Although chaos reigns with most our heroes, the Cell Juniors kick back and play a card game with Boo that seems to be a variation of Go Fish. But instead of regular cards, they're using fighting characters from video games. This one in particular, Tobal, a certain Akira did the art for. With our seldomly seen protagonist and rival, Goku suggests to the latter they can kill Boo using that attack. Boo agrees as he shouts it's within their reach now. The pair go Super Saiyan 3 and decide to take things as seriously as possible then. Yeah! Come on! The technique that destroys me clearly isn't this. First of all, it needs to be much stronger. Second, that's disintegrative energy, not destructive. Causing the boy to scream that he'll see as he powers up to Super Saiyan 3 like his father's. But he is a little annoyed that he only gets this tiny little panel for his super cool transformation. The others got like entire pages. Eat this! Nope, wrong again. Oh wait, Vegito and Sun Brawl lure as many Boos as possible towards them. As the former takes the same form as the Saiyan counterparts. This is exactly what Gotenks meant. Total annihilation! Snatching Kakarot by the neck. The headless Boo, uses his powers to tell his opponent to die, who naturally is reluctant to do so. When the Majin's body is vaporized. With the Hell Lights, they're able to create some distance with their technology, but there are simply too many of them. At this rate, the shields won't hold and they'll be overwhelmed. As they too are defeated. But how? And by who? The answer is quickly revealed to be Sun Brawl from above. Looking back to Universe 18, an eerie silence overtakes the arena. Is that it? Have all the Boos been defeated? Letting out a sigh of relief. Videl at least appears to think so. It looks like they were all exterminated. But of course, that's not exactly the case. Reforming himself from the puddles of liquid rising from the ground, the Majin cackles that they're all jumping to conclusions a little fast if they ask him. These poor things never even realize that he's got pieces of himself scattered all over this battlefield. Pieces that are not even visible to the naked eye. What can they do against an all-powerful god? And religious theology aside, the unfortunate truth does appear to be that Zenbu possesses abilities and foresight that make him pretty much immortal. What can our heroes do? As the creatively named Girl Duck continues to try to send this fiend back to his own universe, he sneers that she should know that he broke her little device, causing her to frantically and hopelessly call out to the nearby Namekian to hurry up and heal their machine. Chuckling at the absurdity,
Boo then questions if that's their big plan. But Girl Duck ominously utters, no. When all 3 iterations of Majin Buu disappear from the room, her face lights up as she reveals, that's our plan. In the arena too, every Buu just vanishes, and Goku can't feel his presence anymore. Prompting Smart Duck to proclaim, aha! Another victory for science! She explains that they didn't like Buu toying with their stuff, so they made an impromptu backup plan. They transported a second teleportation machine to another universe. Then, they programmed a drone that shows up only briefly every 10 minutes. The kicker is that it's too far out in space that no one would ever notice. After all, it's not like it has ki or anything. Anyway, if the drone detects that the Vargas ordered somebody to be teleported back to their own realm, it sends the same order to the backup machine in the other universe. In other words, Buu has been vanquished. All of his particles have returned to his own universe. However, one of the Piccolos brings up a good point. Buu did manage to steal the Ultra technology. Are they sure he wasn't able to steal their tech too? Though Smart Duck isn't worried about such a scenario. He can break or repair their devices, but he will never master it. Although it's not yet understood, but only beings from Universe 1 can operate the inter-universal travel. And fortunately so, because the Vargas quickly realize that many of the participants here are fast enough to simply snatch the machine from one of their hands and use it for their own doing. Returning to the surface, Vegito grins that the Vargas really are amazing. Now they've got a perfect handle on the situation. They can now continue the tournament without danger, can't they? And for the parallel tournament, which brings back some of the defeated contestants, they could. But South Kaioshin speaks up yet again, gritting that it's out of the question. Before Grand Supreme Kai politely requests to say one last thing, not only due to his own status, also as one of the organizers of this tournament. When all of this first started, they promised a lineup and a reward, in respect of the final participants, who for the record did not break any rules willingly. They cannot cancel the main tournament. Despite South's protests, he continues, their divine word is worthless if not maintained. East agrees. The tournament shall continue, but a zero-tolerance policy will strictly be enforced for whoever decides to go too far. Meanwhile, in Majin Buu's Universe 4, They got me good there. After a short while, Buu does what he can to try to get back to the tournament. After all, what else does he have going on? But he hasn't been able to master their technology, even though he's copied it down to the very last atom. Why strange? Bewildered, he thinks to himself that since now he knows that time travel is merely travel between universes, with Bulma in him, he should be able to find something that'll help. Besides her, he also absorbed like 5 Vargas from here in his own realm. If they just give him 2 hours, he'll be back, no problem. Or maybe 2 days. 2 years? But if he goes back in time, time itself doesn't matter, right? But does time travel create a new universe, or just go to an identical one? This is going to complicate things. When he realizes, ah, crap, I left Oob on his own. With Dragon Ball's best character so unjustly teleported away from all the fun, what ingenious technology will he invent to get back to the multiverse tournament? And where was the illustrious Oob during that final skirmish? Or did you just now notice he was missing at all? Briefly before the barbaric blood-ridden Buu brawl broke out in the battered battlefield, we jump back a few minutes to the apartments of Universe 4. Buu opens a portal and ushers his other self inside, possibly taking inspiration from the Room of Spirit and Time. They'll learn much more in another world where time has slowed significantly. This sets off a bell in Oob's head. He wants this done before his next fight. What could he be planning? Referring to his match with the Wizard C. At first appearing almost amiss to what he's talking about, Buu gives his new buddy a wink and utters, "Oh, it's nothing. I've already won." An especially ironic take given the outcome we're already aware of. Perhaps Buu could have avoided becoming a giant egg, or cocoon thing again had he put his entire focus into his fight. As Oob cautiously enters the open portal, a much dapper Majin Buu greets him on the other side with literal open arms. He welcomes his new student to the School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, trademark, He instructs that step 1 is to study and deeply learn the lessons he's going to teach. They will then apply those lessons to step 2 before reaching step 3 in the form of final exams. And if we look at his brilliantly concocted formula on the chalkboard, it seems he himself has taken lessons from a certain group of ground-dwelling gnomes. Gnomes who may have encountered a Master Roshi-like mentor themselves.
Montage time.
Turning a desk into a delectable sugary treat. Who congratulates Zoob that he's done it? In barely 60 hours, he's mastered the basics. Outside with the other universes, it has only been 10 minutes. Now they need to practice in. When something appears to seriously strain the Majin. He and his other iterations begin to dematerialize and fade away. He offers a student a reassured thumbs up and for him to revise his lessons until he returns. He himself will be right back? And just like that, he's gone. We have to wonder if this is the moment that C put a spell on him to be turned back into a sealed ball. The only thing left is Zoob's voice echoing through the empty dimension. As instructed. Day turned to night and Noob still continued to work on his magic. Although, he'd really like to eat something other than sugar. It'd be nice to be able to turn some of these countless books into a steak or something. 30 hours pass inside this world. Only 5 minutes pass on the outside. He continues to study and make the most out of his, hopefully, short stay here. Just as he's getting used to it. Another portal shoots open. Entering with the grandeur and confidence only suitable to such a creature as the Majin, who announces,
Right's back at it then!
However, the obvious has to be asked, and what the heck happened? What's he been doing since he left? With a smile, he confides that it was nothing important. Surely, this has to be the moments between him being released from the ball and before being sent back to his own universe. But as he was saying, now they need to train using magic. Oop knows how to do this now, but he's too slow. In combat or even at a children's birthday party, he needs to quicken his skills and become efficient. Laying out some targets. The Majin does his best to improve the Earthling's reflexes.
Faster! That's one! Turn it into an ice pop! That's one too! This time a cute kitty!
Tired out and possibly stealing a certain mammoth's wife from a certain ice age, Oob has successfully diversified his transmutation abilities. In the background, we see everything from the aforementioned mammoth and kitty, a bicycle, giant hamburger, bale of hay, and likely much more off screen. His teacher compliments that he's good with moving targets. Now it's time for real enemies. He'll create them stronger than Oob himself. To oblige, he must defeat them using magic, which makes sense to Oob, seeing how they're in an illusionary world. Who can go above his limits to his heart's content here? But no, they're not in an illusionary world. This place is very real. It's merely a parallel domain to the normal realm. Creating someone stronger than Oob. For himself, how to say it is easy.
Very easy.
Snapping his fingers, the world seems to change all around the young warrior. This is Boo's training planet. It contains all sorts of terrain, including the obligatory heaps of lava flow. While there is every earthly paradise and hell that's present here, he must not pick the carnivorous plants in the jungle region. Not for any obvious reasons. They're just a protected species is all. Slamming down onto the floor, Boo wants to get started with a placid beast such as this, who appears just to be a muscular iteration of Fat Boo, more or less. Leaning in with a sly smirk, he instructs his student to punch it. Unfortunately, guess Oob didn't absorb as much information as he should have from before. Even though doing as properly instructed, he has to use his magic to defeat this thing. Turning to the young man, the omnipotent magician states that seeing how he can't defeat it with brute strength, he would like him to transform it into a cake and eat it. But, really? Now that he mentions it, he's heard quite a tale of A particular candy incident that didn't save the day for someone.
Dragon Ball Multiverse.
Holding back his anger the best he can at being reminded of Vegeto's antics, whether or not it worked out in the end, or even took place in his universe. The Majin hisses for him to just forget about that. His enemy would have to be thousands of times stronger than Oob to retain control once transformed. Magic remains an asset against most of his potential opponents. So, he's saying Vegito was. But that's enough of theory. Time to practice! Successfully transmuting him, albeit not into a cake, but a giant cookie. Boo tempts him that he can eat it if he'd like. It's even gluten-free. Though if the transformation is permanent, who cares about eating it? But one mustn't waste food. Leading old protege here to figure that his next opponent, he'll just have to turn into a wrench or a spanner or something. Something useful. But Boo also likes eating those, he should know. And speaking of the next, he is now face to face with a Lady Boo. She steers towards him as he calls for her to transform into a, but is kicked in the face before he's even able to get the words out. Transform! Pause. Unable to make any headway, the Ultimate Controller puts a freeze frame on the action. Kneeling down, he takes Baby Bird by the hand. Pointing Oob's own finger towards himself, he instructs him to heal. Thus, during an entire day of hardship, Oob trained himself. He didn't know that at the same time, Boo was facing off against every opponent of the arena, and solo at that. Before finally, he's able to transmute Lady Boo into something, at least. While exhausted, this means they can move on to the final trial. An opponent who is stronger, and faster, and smarter. And just for fun, how about they make her prettier too? Anju, the woman from Oob's dream and village. Though the student doesn't think this is very funny, he shouldn't be messing around in people's heads while they're asleep. Of course, the Majin assures he's only kidding, but Oob surely isn't showing enough respect for his big brother. He promises to make a terrifying monster instead, before vanishing again. Surely he'll be back, just like last time? Little does Oob know, it's very probable that this is when Boo was sent away from the tournament. He might be stuck here alone. Well, not alone. Addressing his former friend, he grows a bit nervous as she scowls.
Terminate the targets!
Just as said before, this Anju is stronger, faster, and smarter than Oob. But if she is smarter, perhaps she's also more reasonable. He calls out for her to wait. Boo isn't here, so they should wait for him. However, that's not what she has in mind. She barks that Master Boo programmed her to attack until Oob succeeds in this trial. Getting to dry land and coughing up water, looks like Oob may be in a bit of trouble. About to deliver another devastating blow, she states that the quality of Oob's training is their top priority. Thinking fast, the only solution that comes to the warrior's mind is pause! Prompting her to plop down on the ground, withholding her attack. That worked? Answering his question, Anju, Faux Anju replies, yes, as break functions are essential in training programs. With an awkward pause with eye contact, she then questions if he wants to read the list of special attacks, almost like she were a video game tutorial. Although this is a tidbit confusing, Oob resolves to ask her what her name is. But being nothing more than a training program, she doesn't have a name. But if he wants, she can answer to the calling of his choice. While an unexpected situation has arisen for the next great savior of Earth, just how is he going to get out of this dimension without the aid of Majin Buu? Will the latter find his way back to the arena to meddle some more? Or is this a start, or end, of young Oob's own adventure? Following the banishment of Boo, the Grand Supreme Kai, also known as the Great Kaioshin, turns to the Kaioshin of the North to support his decision in continuing the tournament. There's no use in going this far just to see it end with only a handful of fights to go, before he announces that he'll be taking over as the new Great Kaioshin. Seeming to voluntarily step down from his role after his involvement, some may even argue corruption, with Majin Buu. Vegito pipes up to inquire something regarding the other tournament, the one where he will be fighting in. Though Trunks places a hand on his shoulder to recommend his dad get out of the ring, it's his daughter's turn to fight. Whipping his head around and changing his demeanor instantly, he barks to know who she's supposed to be fighting against. Gast is dead because they're all making a mess of things, clearly having some issues with his lack of control here. Everyone around him is getting on his last nerve. Not to mention he's starving for something to eat. Destroying all those Boos emptied his reserves completely, and there isn't a single Senzu left in this universe. He saved them all, and again, he's getting left behind. Great South reminds that they're going to get a set of Dragon Balls and resurrect Gas Karkle, when a little Cell flies over to plead with them to bring their dad back too, who Vegeta did away with during their fight. So with that, it's planned to bring back all the fighters who have perished. That includes Gast, Cell, 18, Tapion, and Raishi. They promise this from the start. Bardock is quick to interrupt. Before they do so, he would like to be taken back to his own universe. Specifically, before Raichi's return, it's very important that he doesn't know where he's hiding. Demon King Piccolo feels the same, his own heart beginning to soften. He scoffs that this place reeks of kindness, and he's glad Gast is dead. This prompts the Varga named Uv to realize that, when you think about it, it's possible that getting mortal enemies to come together for any reason, let alone a fighting tournament, wasn't very reasonable. He escorts the pair out of the arena. The Demon King asks Bardock,
"You're a Saiyan, right? I think I've killed a bunch of your kind."
Bardock adds to this, "Including my son. Yeah." But brushes this off as DK was only defending himself. Seeing as the Saiyans wiped out planet Namek, he's probably the last Namekian. Bardock himself is the last of the Saiyans. So together, they can oh wait, never mind. Piccolo continues with,
"So what?"
Raichi is the last Huffle, and Tapion is from so far in the past his entire civilization has disappeared. Frankly, being the last of your own species is so overblown. Taking off into space, the Namekian offers him a deal. He's looking for some place to hide, so why not stay with him? In exchange, Bardock can warn him when danger comes their way. But first things first, what do they do where he lives? Simply enough, he picks on the weak. Something the Not Midas warrior likes the sound of. Getting a bit blue in the face, Uv mutters to his comrade that he for one is glad to see them gone. Say echoes a statement from before, and chimes that accepting the worst types of criminals into their tournament wasn't very reasonable. Moments later, at least one of the many Purungas resurrect Gast, Cell, and Tapion. Reactivated 18, and repaired Raichi. As way back in chapters 55 and 58, Gast revealed that Raichi was no more than a ghost himself, no different from the Endless he's able to create. It wasn't initially believed that form could be brought back. So does this mean? Tapion is the next warrior to request an expedited return home. The two of them have nothing more to do here, though Raichi ushers him to wait. He believes that he himself will linger a bit longer. But the elf isn't willing to hear it. He's obsessed with the Saiyans present in other universes, but they don't concern him. They're leaving. Now. Grabbing him by the arm like a child, Tapion reminds that in any case, he isn't allowed to interfere with the other universes. But the doctor doesn't like what he's trying to insinuate. Warding, the voice of reason argues that he won't ever find peace if he keeps. Though cutting him off, the old-timer corrects that he doesn't look for peace. He looks for evil and destroys it. When Snitch Magoo decides to sell out Bardock and Demon King Piccolo, he low-key coughs. Earth! While Tapion doesn't catch what he said, and the duck himself denies any snitchery. Raichi notes loud and clear the communication intended. Among the onlookers for the next fight, Vegito sneers at Cell that the universes are emptying fast. He's already lost, so he can leave too, along with his little family. However, he chirps that he's only waiting for the next time that things get out of hand. It's going to be fun. Cutting this conversation short, we have the announcer shouting that with the tournament back on, Sun Brawl of Universe 16 is set to take on Gas Karkle from Universe 7. This will be the last quarterfinal match, the winner of which will go on to face C in the semifinal, after Goku and Vegeta battle it out in the other semifinal match. Before, at long last, the championship bout will take place. Little nervous, and understandably so, all things considered. Sun Brawl readies herself to push forward after her
Alright guys, next match is starting in 2
little
minutes.
incident with Babidi. Though behind her, a scornful Pan stares daggers into her. She can't keep herself from questioning if she's really going. Shocked, whether at the question itself or maybe just the fact that Pan spoke to her, Bra apprehensively replies, yeah. Pan asks if she wants some advice, and desperately wanting to make amends any way she can. Of course the daughter of Vegito is eager to hear what she has to say. She slyly tells her to point her fingers at him and blow him up. That was really classy. Strangely, this likely refers to how Majin Buu obliterated Piccolo. Whether it's a jab, a compliment, or maybe because both Piccolo and Gas are Namekians, and that seemed to do a good job against the former's regeneration abilities. I don't have the social skills to determine. Either way, young warrior hops the barrier and reminds herself and those within earshot she promised a wish to the Hellites of Universe 19, so she's off. The two take center stage as the fight is announced to begin. The pair share the same caution while approaching each other. Raul knows that Gas is very
It's Trunks! Super time machine, as well as a crate of supplies.
Flying Nimbus!
Here's how to launch. Find the power keys, then place them in the right spots. You found a power key. Go slot it. This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them.
Where am I? You be careful too,
An
okay?
ally needs your help. We don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in. That's a new power key. Place it now.
I need help! You're a big help!
This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise
Flying
extreme
Nimbus!
caution if you're going to help them.
Excellent.
You're good to go.
Get off!
Thanks!
Great. You know what to do with that key.
idea! Thought I was a goner there.
Ally down!
Flying Nimbus!
If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies. Hey, great! You found another power key. Use it quick. An ally needs your help. We don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in.
Flying Nimbus!
This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them. An ally needs your help. We don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in. That's a new power key. Place it now.
Someone save me! Thanks.
This is Dragon Ball The Breakers.
This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them. Holy hell.
Flying Nimbus! Oh, man.
I need help! Thanks.
I sent you a super transfer. Use it to hold the enemy back. The startup system for the super time machine is ready. Head there
Get
now.
out of here!
I'll send some supplies to help. Make
Thought I
good
was a
use
goner.
of them.
Relief.
Ally down. If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies.
Trash will always be trash. Flying Nimbus!
All Broly players get blocked. Like, it's impossible to fight this guy, man.
Sorry, Broly. You'll be dying alongside this planet.
Very strong, but still weaker than herself. The real problem is his magic. He can use it to remove her strength. If that happens, she'll be out of options and as good as finished. She noticed before that he needs to move his hand to do that though. So should she attack strong and quick and just go for it like Boo did? Or should she keep her distance and give herself time to evade his attempts? In his own mind, the Namekian knows in terms of brute strength, Sun Brawl does outclass him, just as she already predicted. He could block her energy, but that's a pretty petty move for a tournament. Maybe he can just keep that as a trump card. This is a rare chance to go all out against a really strong opponent who doesn't have any strange magic. At the moment, he acknowledges that
What's
she
up,
dares
T?
not attack. Obviously,
The
she's
game
already
snaked me,
concerned
put
with
me in
his
a
own
group with a whole
magic.
bunch of C players.
Imagining
Trash.
the battle to come, Gas thinks
What's
that
up
if
with
he
you?
suddenly accelerates, she'll keep her distance and fire back at him. In that case, he can surprise her with his speed. But no, that won't work. That wouldn't surprise her at all. So alternatively, he can blast first. She'll see that he's not using his magic yet. This could tactically mean an agreement for an old school fight for her. However, if he does fire first, she'll easily evade and counter. Then charge at the same time. But it'll only be a trap. She'll take him into deep space with that instantaneous movement ability. Return alone. What she doesn't know is that he can do this just as easily as her. She'd mentioned something about never seeing him teleport before, only hoping he couldn't do it. Then he'd answer that he's never done it before. He simply saw her do it and it seemed easy enough to replicate. As a spectator, Goku would be slightly annoyed by this comment. The Cell would pretty much agree. But this would cause them to become separated by several meters again. The fight would lack close combat because she's so wary of him. Jumping over to Brawl's psyche, still slowly walking towards her opponent. She's sure Gas needs to be close to block her power. Boo was everywhere, but for her father, he had to move near him. Of course, we found this out shortly after Vegito discovered what Brawl had done, and Gas had to restrain him. She knows she needs to attack from a distance. She needs to charge her power instantly. So she prepares for her attack, but he prefers to observe. He'll just allow her to act on her own will. Then she'll hammer him. She'll play the fool who's so proud of herself, cackling out with laughter at the sight of her own power. As is tradition, he will wait until she's finished and the smoke disperses, revealing him to be completely unharmed. But among these attacks, she'll send a much more powerful one. No, wait, hang on. Clearly he would be able to detect the sudden energy. He would take advantage of the moment and approach, though she still doesn't know if he can teleport or not. But of course he can. If he has all sorts of these crazy magic tricks, there's no way he can't. This would result in a checkmate.
Good to hear you made it home safe,
Or
homie.
instead, she
Should
could
have a rated
teleport.
match in maybe 2 matches after
But
this.
she doesn't go to him. Instead, she attacks from a distance. She'll do this from multiple angles. She even managed to surprise her father with this. Well, once, for at least a second. Using the after image, he won't be able to tell where she is.
Gosh darn it! I'm done for!
And when she teleports near him for the final blow, he's totally expecting it and paralyzes her. Another checkmate. So she'll send a decoy.
Brats!
Surprised, he won't have enough time to react even if he does feel the real attack coming. But Gas' surprise? Her conscience doesn't think so.
You forgot this.
A third checkmate. He'll definitely see any attack coming. She needs to force him to take the hits. When she realizes, this guy definitely knows how to read minds. He knows about all her plans for sure. Addressing him, she questions that if she lost this fight, would he be willing to grant Universe 19's wish for her? Surprised by this inquiry, he explains that the winner will have 3 wishes. He doesn't see any problem in granting their wish before his own. Then in that case, she forfeits, prompting the PA system to announce that Gas Karkle has won the match to a less than satisfied audience, as I think his name is Bruce complains that they didn't even fight. However, another spectator insists that it was an incredibly tense fight. She could read minds but yeah, she already said that for the Goku and Frieza fight. Don't think they're all dumb. Back in the ring, Gas accepts this responsibility. But why? Why quit now? Obviously not reading her mind in the events that led up to this. Brawl just chalks it up to her way of saying thanks for saving her life back there. When the sexy ginger utters, that's not the only reason, is it? Entering the ring itself to talk to Brawl, a short silence ensues after Fipsel's question. The daughter of Vegito admits that she's right. Her powers are identical to her father's, and C swatted him, whereas Gas is a magician, and thus, better equipped to defeat him. She doesn't think that C will give the Hellolite universe a wish. Her brother notes that she's self-sacrificing herself for the greater good. That's a noble choice, especially since he knows how much she loves fighting. Fipsel extends her hand and thanks her former adversary for thinking about them. Given the opportunity, Brawl also wants to apologize for... But that's something better left unspoken from here forward. The Hellolite smiles that Brawl was another person who fought her earlier. But another person? Pan thinks back to all the memories of her best friend. Perhaps she's trying to turn a corner and separate the Brawl she knows and the one who killed her father. Back with conversation, she adds that if Gas wins against C, Universe 19 will be saved for sure. A quick reminder that the Hellolite's universe is in danger because of their own invention known as carbonite, a substance that eats up whatever it comes in contact with. Their home planet, known as Tregor, was consumed by the substance. Not only did this destroy their world, but if a wayward meteor or anything else would happen to cause the carbonite to be launched into space, it came in contact with another celestial body, and wouldn't stop until all matter on which is devoured. Back with the conversation again, Gohan points out that Goku and Vegeta still have their fight too. So even if Gas fails, there's a chance that one of them could still win. However, Brawl is fairly confident that both of them are completely outclassed. Gas will beat either of them easily. Though what Gohan meant was if either of them win, they'll also get a wish. Which, yeah, right, yes. When we join C and his smoky Legion of Doom, the mysterious figure he's been in contact with asks what he wants this time around. The wizard requests the techniques of Buu used to defeat Gas, demanding that they be given to him. Unfortunately for the mage, but lucky for everybody else, those techniques are way beyond the figure's abilities. Such a shame. Looks like it's over for C. But the wizard remains stagnant that he can defeat him himself, only for the mysterious entity to reply that they don't believe him. He never takes risks. Which is exactly where C's confidence comes from. So his next question, how can he easily vanquish Gas in this tournament? With the tournament winding down to the final 3 fights, just what mysteries will we finally unravel about the wizard known only as C? Not to mention this entity, who keeps gifting him knowledge and power between matches. Then what about the next fight involving Goku and Vegeta? Will we see Goku predictably take the edge over his longtime rival? Or has his mentoring of Oob left Vegeta an opportunity to surpass our hero? After the Gas and Brawl fight, or lack of, Sei announces to the stadium that they're all now allowed to have a good night's rest before the semifinals. She implores everyone to sleep well. With the spectators making their way out of the arena, we're faced with a couple recurring characters from the audience. Bruce sheepishly asks Zarya if she has a good spot to sleep. He's a little tight on cash lately. Then with the Supreme Kais, Shin questions the South Kaio if he plans on sleeping at all tonight. But he doesn't. Too many strange things have been happening, so he's keeping watch. The former adds how that now Buu and Babidi have been evicted. Nothing more can happen, right? And This is something he only hopes is true. When Nickel's mother, the unborn most powerful fighter of Universe 15, has a contraction. Back at the apartment of Universe 18. Everybody gets ready to hunker down for the night. It's then brought up again. Where did Oob go? It's been a while since Goku's seen him. Pan mentions that he told her that he was looking for new training and didn't know how long it'd take. Which puts her grandfather's mind
we have a
at
Vader
ease.
match?
He only hopes he found
Switching it
something
up, playing
interesting.
Assault.
Meanwhile, a few hours later, Mr. Pig announces to everyone that it's morning. But who the heck is this guy? He doesn't work here. The crowd makes their way back to their seats. Returning to her microphone, she bids everyone a good morning. Next, they'll start the semifinal. But, can they get breakfast first? No! And what about the...
We'll see about that.
I'm an android, you see, and you can call me by my name, Cell. It's time to feast.
Don't worry. You'll be dead as soon as the fear sets in. Look at you. Now you're nothing but a worthless hunk of scrap metal, not even fit to be sold for parts. Would you care to take part in a little warm-up? Well, this is quite fun. It must be my lucky day. We'll see about that. Look at you. Now you're nothing but a worthless hunk of scrap metal, not even fit to be sold for parts. Here goes! Well, this is quite fun. It must be my lucky day. We'll see about that. Here I go! Goodbye! Solar flare!
You know, I was trying to let him go, but he wanted to be a superhero. So there you go, bro. Easy win.
ring. Shouldn't they change it? Oh, no, shut up! It's time for Goku vs. Vegeta! Giving it a little more gusto than maybe necessary? She means Goku and Vegeta both from Universe 18. Why is she all angry? She doesn't know! She's just so hyped! In the stands, the Toribot didn't think the tournament would ever get this far. But didn't he leave earlier? However, this is the iteration from Universe 1. So Goku versus Vegeta. The last time Pan saw this, she cried for 2 days straight. Staring down his longtime rival, Vegeta mentions how Goku almost lost against Oob. How come? Who explains that it's because he didn't give him time to breathe. Goku needs intense concentration to release his new power. Does this mean that he can attain a form past Super Saiyan 3? This prompts the prince to smile, so he thinks that he will give him the extra time. And of course, because he knows that he needs it just as much as he himself does, doesn't he? Silently confirming this. What could they mean? Is this going to be the introduction of Super Saiyan 3 Kaioken, Super Saiyan 4, or somehow Super Saiyan God? The pair close their eyes and begin to focus themselves. Piccolo notes that they're reducing their energy levels. He can't sense them. Even their breathing is calm. The problem with Super Saiyan 3 is the same problem every Super Saiyan transformation has, actually. It gives off so much powerful energy that overflows. It leaks from every pore, creating a destructive aura. It electrifies the body and burdens the mind. Light, wind, electricity, physical transformations, they're just the secondary effect which diminish the user's life expectancy. The old Kaioshin removed all of that from Gohan. They, who train their bodies every day, it would be absurd if they didn't manage to master their physical bodies and only remain slaves to their defaults. To the untrained eye, nothing has changed. But Gohan knows better than anyone that everything has changed. Just like that, he defeated him with only one shot? Discus, the Namekian, claims no. So much more happened. But what did he see? Honestly, he didn't see anything. Pan of Universe 16 mentions to Vegito that she didn't manage to catch all that. Can he tell her what happened? Who? For whatever reason, is taken aback by their fight. Gohan tells how it was a blow-for-blow battle and a series of counters. Really incredible. Sun Brawl pouts that they could have warned him. By the time she'd noticed, she'd already missed half of it. Looks like the Goku and Vegeta, who haven't done much of this entire story, pack a lot more of a punch than they've been given credit for. Still, even with presumably being able to use Gohan's ultimate or Mystic transformation, could either one really stand up to Gas or C? Universe 18's Pan can't believe that he managed to do so much in such little time. The same Universe Gohan could explain, but it would probably take half an hour to describe it. Something Piccolo would actually like. Say resolves that it's a pity that no one could follow this most recent fight. But oh well. Looks like we'll just have to imagine how this fight might have gone down, and only speculate who could have possibly won. Sorry, Solid and Azra wouldn't leave us hanging like that. Half a second before the end of the fight. standing proud in
Alright,
the
next match
aftermath
should start
of
in
their
2 minutes.
first battle without an asterisk. Son Goku at last claims official victory over his decades-long rival. But will he be able to hold a candle to gas? Or worse yet, the magic of C?
Can you hear me?
Flying Nimbus!
It's Trunks. I've set a super time machine, as well as a crate of supplies. Here's how to launch. Find the power keys, then place them in the right spots.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Flying Nimbus!
You found a power key. Go slot it.
Flying Nimbus!
Gotta look for a power key over there.
you. Oh.
That's a new power key. Place it now. Great. You know what to do with that key. Hey, great. You found another power key. Use it quick. An ally needs your help. We don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in. Great. You know what to do with that key.
Flying Nimbus!
This is bad. Somebody's down. Exercise extreme caution if you're going to help them.
Say that first.
Ally down! If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies. The startup system for the super time machine is ready. Head there now.
Get up! Stay calm. Trouble. Stay calm.
Exercise extreme caution. An ally needs your help. You don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in.
Stay calm.
You guys are so annoying, man. You can't fight this thing.
I'll send some supplies to help. Make good use of them. Ally down! If you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies. Danger awaits. Think before rushing in.
great.
Now, if you intend to rescue them, watch out for enemies. A super transfer is headed your way. Take it now.
Here comes the pain.
An ally needs your help. You don't know what danger awaits. Think before rushing in.
Sorry, Broly. You'll be dying alongside this planet. Where do you think you're going? I was going to escape with you. In a one-person pod.
Alright guys, I'm gonna end the stream now. If you stayed this long, I'd like to say thank you. Please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll be streaming again tomorrow for sure. That being said, have yourself a good night. Peace.